Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Tony from Everflow, and I have Lenee and Alex from Digistore24 today. How are you guys doing?
What's up, Tony? How you doing, man?
Doing
Not too
great.
bad, not too bad. Yeah, where are you guys located at?
So I'm in the greater Boise, Idaho area. So I'm in Caldwell. It's like the last thing on the way out of the valley.
Okay. And Lenee?
I'm in Denver, actually a suburb out of Denver, Arvada, so not too far from downtown Denver, but here in Colorado.
If you're in Denver and you need the burrito hookup, Lenee knows
Mm,
the best spot with like a nice green salsa. Very delicious.
Sounds good.
oh,
Breakfast
that's
burrito,
good to know.
big thing in Colorado.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Interesting. Yeah, that's always good to know. We can always put that in the chat later for if anybody is into that, which is fantastic. And so yeah, thank you guys so much for taking the time to chat today. It's definitely great having a company like Digistore24 involved on these things because you guys have a ton of experience. And so moving into that, I guess we can start maybe with Alex because he has described himself as somebody who just talks continuously and just kind of, does not stop. So in terms of that, starting off everything,
Yeah, man.
Alex, can you explain what Digistore24 is?
No, yeah, for sure. So Digistore24 is an online platform that helps a lot of people in a lot of different ways. We help with vendors or affiliates and advertisers and publishers on both sides of that, right? So we help people that if you have an offer, we'll run the payment processing. We'll handle all of like the state, international taxes, everything like that. We'll handle the relationship with the affiliate for you. If you're somebody who's got no offers, but you got a ton of traffic, we've also just got a huge marketplace full of offers in almost every vertical that you might want to promote. Our slogan is more sales, less work. So if you're somebody that likes money and hates working, we will find the way to work with you.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think that is basically everyone in the world.
Yep.
And in terms of what you guys do, Lenee, can you let us know what your role is at Digistore?
So I am the director of sales for the U.S. division of Digistore24. Our parent company is a German company, and they've been around a few years longer than we have here in the U.S., but I oversee the sales team on the U.S. side.
Very cool. And Alex?
Yeah, so I'm director of business development. So I'm sort of the guy who works a lot hunting new advertisers and new publishers, right? We look for all sorts of people, and I'm sort of with the team at events, right? And both at home, just looking for people. Also, sort of helping the team as we start to move into Spanish and Portuguese speaking Latin America. And so that's sort of a cool opportunity that we have that's popping up that we're sort of leading the way in that direction too.
Oh, very cool. And in terms of Digistore, I know you guys talked about the publisher side. Are there certain types of advertising partners that you guys work with?
We work with pretty much everybody. That's the thing. It's like we don't discriminate. Again, going back to the thing, if you like money and not a lot of work, that we'll work with pretty much anybody. We do a lot of verticals that we have a lot of are super strong in Nutra right now. So we've got a ton of stuff there, and we can provide a lot of value helping you in that Nutra space, digital coaching. We got everything, right? Products from crypto to everything. And doing a lot of stuff even with like SaaS products. A lot of people have platforms and services that need reoccurring sort of stuff. We work with that, and we pretty much can get any sort of vertical pushing in any sort of traffic source.
Awesome. Anything emerging for you guys right now? Like anything that's really taken off vertical wise?
I would say right now, just like beginning of the year, of course, like supplements and weight loss is huge. Of course, like everybody knows that. Really interesting right now, our male enhancement stuff is really, really popping. It's tricky to run, right? You've got to understand cloaking. You've got to have access to a lot of burner accounts because you're just gonna be burning through Facebook as they start playing whack-a-mole with you. But we're doing actually really, really well with it. We've got a huge group out of Brazil that are finding a lot of success with it. And recently as well, we've been finding more and more webinars, biz op stuff right now that's coming on the platform, personal development, and it's also being successful.
Interesting. And I get this question is for Lenee. What do you feel like is the most popular reason why advertisers go with you guys versus your competition?
So I think that we are emerging as a company that really puts a lot of effort towards our advertisers. I know traditionally with other platforms, there's like a big focus on like the pubs, the vendors that, have the products there, but we're trying to turn the tide and give, more attention to our affiliate side. So whether that be putting them with like account managers that they can directly talk to about top offers or anything that they need to like promote the offer and get traffic rolling, even down to like basic implementing features that we've come out with to increase conversions. We really have a heavy focus on the affiliate side, and we're super tuned in to the needs of affiliates and what they're looking for. If there's certain types of I say affiliates, the verbiage is all the same, but if there's certain types of offers that an affiliate is looking for, we're able to actually go, approach and try to bring them onto our platform. So we're pretty much hands down focused on our affiliates and growing in that direction.
Very cool. I mean, that seems like you guys have a total approach to that. So that's fantastic. So moving into the kind of the main reason why everyone's here today, moving into this chat. And so basically today, first off, we're going to have a lot of kind of dating and Valentine's Day related puns. So things like going steady, things like swiping left, swiping right. Basically what this chat today is about is if you are advertising and you're looking to get traction, so you're looking to get your offer picked up, what are the best ways to do that? And what are the best ways to not only get it picked up, but have that offer continue to grow and have affiliates scale with it and have sustained success with it? And so, yes, there'll be a lot of references to dating and whatnot, and we'll see how that goes. But this is something that I think that anyone who has a new offer should definitely pay attention to, because there is a lot of pitfalls to getting people to pick up your offer. They might not know your brand. They may not know what the format of the offer is. They may not. They may be comfortable with what they're promoting right now. So a lot of different things can get in the way of that. And so what we want to do is make your offer the most attractive possible. And so with that said, Alex, what do you think are the risks of launching a non-branded or completely new offer to affiliates?
Let's talk about, let's go to that dating app style thing, right? When you're looking at a dating app, luckily I'm not on any of those anymore, right? At one point I was on every single one of them. I hit the trifecta. I had a match on Bumble, had a match on Tinder, had a match on Hinge, all at the same time. It was a pretty big day for me.
Yeah, that must have been nice. Heavy scheduling there.
Yeah,
yes.
it was the one. It was the one successful day I had with it. Then didn't do it. I did actually get married via a dating app, so I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, man, my international dating app. My wife's from Peru, so that's a long story. It's a long story, but talking about these offers,
fantastic.
We'll do it afterwards, right? So talking about these dating apps is really, you have one shot, right? This picture, you're going to look at that front picture, that very first one. If they don't like the very first one, they're not going to swipe to the second one. They're not going to swipe to the third one, right? You got to nail that first impression. And so when you're launching an offer and it's brand new, you don't have a lot of data. You're not really sure about what works the best, what doesn't. Maybe you don't have the best converting swipe. Like you got like a good copywriter, but the swipe like may or may not be good. You really just use Jasper to write it all, or ChatGPT. And so you risk burning relationships if you rush to get out an offer without providing enough time to test it and really fill it out and understand it yourself.
That makes sense for sure. And do you feel that a lot of affiliates are kind of they see something that's a brand name and they just want to kind of go with it, and that's they don't want to test anything new?
Dude, it's everybody, right, likes to stick with what they know. They know that it's safe, and it's very interesting because sometimes we, on the internal side, I can see things and I know yet they had one really big hit. But just because you've had one really big hit doesn't mean you're great at it. Like sometimes there's just like a little bit of luck to it. And so maybe a second or third offer isn't great, but because the affiliates know the name, they're going to give you more traffic. And so that's one of the cool things about being branded, right? Is if you're branded, then people can stick with you. And sometimes they're more forgiving because you built a little bit of a relationship.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think that this is a good analogy, like the dating kind of game or the dating analogy, because it really is. It's like your opportunity to like find out if this is something like worth pursuing. And I think that circling back around to like the risk of launching like a non-branded or like a completely new offer, the biggest thing is, of course, the affiliate marketing is relationship based, like all day long. And that shows up in a variety of ways. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you have a brand new offer that hasn't been tested, doesn't have any data behind it, you bring it to an affiliate and, they send and it completely bombs, like number one, it's like that person is losing money, right? Because generally the affiliates, it's like they want to run things that are going to make them money. So if they're losing money on the deal and this hasn't been communicated up front, it can get really hairy with like the relationship. And then, not only have they lost money, like they don't trust you, they don't want to send any traffic in the future. It's just kind of like a really bad situation to be in, with an affiliate. So that's why it is so important to test. And it really all boils down to like, keeping a good relationship.
Yeah, I could see them definitely not, if they're like, okay, I'll take a chance and they're stopping what they're doing to promote something new and it doesn't work out, or then, why would they want to ever trust you again? So that makes sense for sure. And I was going to ask you, Lenee, now that we're kind of talking on, the positive things and how to get more people to swipe right on these offers. How would you recommend that an advertiser gets their offers noticed more and they stand out? I'd like kind of what Alex was talking about, making a good first impression. Like, what would you recommend an advertiser do to get more attention and get that good first impression?
For sure. So of course we always say like any data is going to be like king. So if you have a new offer and say you haven't tested it with affiliates yet, you've tested it internally, or say you've scaled on cold traffic and you're trying to work with like email affiliates, like any data that you have, like performance wise, is important to, put up front. In the situation that you don't have any at all, like completely new, affiliates have never tested it, you've never tested it internally, there's literally nothing. I think the biggest thing that stands out to affiliates to work with you is a willingness to prepay for test traffic. So in that way, if an affiliate knows that you're willing to prepay, that's you saying, hey, I want to make sure that you make money on the deal. I can't guarantee that this is going to be a knock out of the park or convert at a high enough, metric that makes sense for you to continue scaling it. But a willingness to pay for testing is like super attractive to the affiliates. And in addition to that, you just want to make it as easy as possible for affiliates from the get-go. So I think that this in my mind should be kind of like a given, but we see offers sometimes that come on and it's like they don't have all of the things that affiliates need to actually promote the offer ready. They don't have swipe copy written, or they don't have, an affiliate support page is like literally the most basic thing you can do, where you can make it super easy for the affiliates to get their promotion links, get all of their assets, and get set up to test. So that's kind of like, in my mind, like a willingness to actually prepay for traffic, and then all of the tools for the affiliate. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for ease of access to, make as much money as possible.
Yeah. So something that my parents instilled in me, right, is there's rules about what is dating and what is hanging out, right? And so with dating, there was a couple of P's that all went together, and one of those P's was paid for, right? So anytime it was a date, it had to be paid for. The other was planned for, so you had to plan for it. And so vendors that are trying to get traffic, that are willing to commit and pay for it a little bit, right? And they're prepared. They have all the swipe right. It carries over dating to affiliate marketing, right? It is all key. The same way you would attract a person, you can do it as a vendor.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So there's some intention there in terms of you're setting up, kind of like with a date, you're setting up the atmosphere, you're setting up, you're creating a plan, like you mentioned, you're enabling success for your date, which is have a good date. And so very similar to I think what you guys are saying in terms of you want to make it spelled out for affiliates, you want to have it everything that they need to succeed, and you want to have it where they can just take things and go, versus them seeing a new offer and just kind of there's so many roadblocks to kind of encounter there.
Yeah.
They want to know you care, right? So like an affiliate who doesn't know you wants to know that you care about what you're doing as much as they care about what they're doing. And by taking these little steps, even if it's not the best offer in the world, you show it at least you care enough to put some effort into it.
Yep, and I think that's huge with with this kind of industry, because many affiliates, pretty much most, are working on their own. They're it's not like you're going to an office every day. There's not like a corporate kind of culture. So showing that you're you care about their background and you care about what they're doing, and you're there for them is a nice way to let them know that you're not only helping them succeed, but you're there to kind of believe in what they're doing and be there for them. So that's fantastic.
Yeah,
for sure. I was going to add to that, like along the lines of this and like making your offer attractive to affiliates, especially at the point of getting initial test data and getting it tested with affiliates. I think it's often missed or overlooked that one of the biggest things you can do is literally just communicate expectations up front. If you're, so for example, if you're a vendor, you have a new offer, it hasn't been tested, and you're reaching out to affiliates, number one, transparency, right? You don't want to fudge oh, this performs this way. We see this happening all the time, right? People are like, oh yeah, it performs this, converts with this is what the EPC is. But really they're the only ones that can see that, or it's not true at all. So you want to be transparent, because it's all going to come out in the wash. But one thing that I really like to, if I have a vendor's offer and I'm approaching affiliates and it's brand new, one thing that I like to do is communicate about the expectations. So I'm asking the affiliate, what does a good promotion look like for you? Even as granular as how much money are you expecting to make off of a promotion like this? What's average, what's below average? And also, if the offer doesn't back out, it's what is the expectation from that point? Because I see a lot of people, they set up deals, maybe the offer didn't convert or just bombed, and then they just they're like magnets and they repel each other, instead of the better way to approach it would be communicating after, okay, or ahead of time, really, what happens if this offer goes bad? If I have another offer in the future, are you willing to, test that? Really just getting your mind wrapped around what their expectations are as an affiliate goes so far with working with affiliates, because you could have an offer that bombs, but you've done the right thing, right? You've paid up front, so the affiliate made money, and maybe you have another offer 6 months later you're looking for test traffic for. Then at that point, because you communicated so well, it's totally appropriate for you to go back to that affiliate and say, hey, I have an offer, and would you test it? And you could expect that they might give you, another chance because of the way you communicated. I think that too many people miss the boat on communicating expectations with their affiliates up front.
Yeah, that's great, and that kind of goes back to what Alex said about the planning part of it, because you're setting the expectations and asking them, okay, what are you hoping will happen here? I think is fantastic, and I don't see, in my experience in the affiliate industry, I don't see that too often from affiliate managers, in terms of saying okay, hey, this is, giving them a realistic expectation, seeing if you can meet their expectation and being honest with them. And that goes a long way. I mean, it's not the most enticing way to get them to take action, but it's the way for sustained success. So that's definitely fantastic there.
Yeah. And I think it's also important to like point out that there's like two types of marketers. There's like the missionary based marketer and the mercenary marketer. The mercenary, they're interested in one thing, and that's making money. They want to promote things that are going to make money. Then you have also the missionary type of affiliate that they're drawn to like offers and products that like align with what they believe or that they really think are helpful. And so in that instance, it's like, you know, you don't have any data. This is a brand new offer, but I really believe in what you're doing here. This offer looks good. Like, I'm willing to test it. And so you also, it's really necessary to understand what type of affiliate you're working with. So we can get into some more of the details about the different types of affiliates and their needs. But you know, you want to go into it knowing that like not all affiliates are the same. It's some people might be pulled in one direction just by you pitching the offer and like not telling any numbers or anything, but they believe in you or your offer. And then there's the people, right, that these are often the people that are trading their like money for the, like, I'm thinking media buyers, like anyone's doing like cold traffic, they're putting money in, they want to get more money out. So they're really more focused on like that aspect of it. So, you know, they might not be a fit. It might be more of a fit to start reaching out or identify and reach out to some of these like more missionary based marketers that align with who you are and what you're doing, and you'll have a better chance of like succeeding there.
Yeah, that's a great point. So it comes down to sort of knowing your affiliate base, and you might have to do different approaches based on their promotional methods.
For sure.
Awesome. And in terms of, so you guys kind of covered basically how to get people to notice your offer and how to get started. So once, you know, we'll move from the kind of initial getting noticed, you know, swiping right phase of this discussion to more of the, you know, they're familiar with you, the affiliates are promoting your offer, things are just started getting moving. Alex, how would you recommend that you grow a relationship with the affiliate within your offer?
So I got a new offer. I've got a little bit of traffic. I've got an affiliate that starts running it. I'm definitely going to pay attention to what they're doing, right? And so I think within an account, a lot of times affiliates start promoting, and an offer owner is going to look at their overall gross sales, right? So they're going to look at their overall gross sales. They're going to look at their overall stats, that total. But if they can get a little bit more granular and then actually look at the affiliates again, remember that it's not just a number, that's an actual person, and start getting to know and memorize that affiliate ID. Know that, hey, that's so-and-so, and look at the numbers they're doing and start tracking to see if performance is going up or if it's going down, right? Notice when there's a change, like usually going back to dating and relationships again, right? Somebody doesn't just all of a sudden say, hey, I want to get divorced, right? There's usually signs that sort of show that. And so as you start looking at your offer, you should see from this week to that week, hey, there was a definite drop in promo clicks. Hey, there was a definite drop in revenue. And so maybe I just need to reach out to that person and figure out what's happening, because maybe it's something that I could do on my end to change that. And if I can reach out, that's helpful. Same way, right? If somebody's always doing something for you and you never try to like acknowledge them or reward them, then they're going to decide like, hey, if somebody else, another suitor shows up and gives them a little bit more attention, they're gone. So if you can see when, hey, let me offer you a bump in your CPA just for this month, right? Like, hey, we just saw, hey, you did really great for us last month. I want to give you a little something extra, right? That makes that person think, okay, like these guys see me, they know me, they recognize me, and they'll be more willing to work with you long-term, and they'll want to stay with you because you treat them right. I think that's a huge part of growing that affiliate relationship. The other thing is just like verbalizing, hey, what can we do for you? Is there anything else we could do for you? Giving them chances to grow their business and sort of anticipating what some of those affiliates' needs are, not waiting for them to come to you and say, hey, do you have any new swipe? But extending and offering that to them and saying, hey, we've got this new stuff. Let me show it to you. Having dialogues about, hey, do you notice anything with our offer? Like, everybody likes to feel smart. In my relationship, that's me, right? I'm the dumb guy that likes to feel like he's smart. And so my wife does little tricks to make me feel like I'm a smart person. And so she may already know the answer, but maybe she'll ask me and just be like, hey, what's your opinion? And you could always do that with an affiliate. Like, hey, have you noticed anything with our offer? Anything that other people are doing that maybe can make our offer better. And then that person gets to sort of verbalize like, oh, they see me as an expert, and they get to verbalize it. And all those sorts of things are going to endear that affiliate to you and your team.
For sure.
Yeah, oh, sorry, go ahead, Lenee.
Oh, I was just going to add on to that by saying this is what Alex is getting into. Like, this is really, when we say affiliate marketing is a relationship game, like this is it, and this is why. So a lot of the things that Alex touched on about really building that relationship up with the affiliates is just super, super important. Just like any relationship, a romantic relationship, whatever, it takes communications from both sides. A lot of the times, like Alex mentioned, we see someone come on, their offer, is like it starts scaling up and the affiliates are getting paid, but the offer owner is never even reaching out to the top affiliates to get any feedback or really like play their role in the relationship. And you should be reaching out regularly, especially to your top affiliates, getting them refreshed assets, like asking them what is working. To Alex's point, is there anything that they see on different offers that we could implement? And that kind of leads me into my second point about like optimizing the offer and the relationship once it's got some test data behind it. Like, that's going to be a really intense period of like, you want to test everything, you want to split test everything. I would even, once you get some affiliate traffic rolling, you want to start having your affiliates, like the ones that have like are doing well, like have them split test creatives, right? Send half of their traffic to one creative, the other half to another, and then obviously within the offer itself, be optimizing everything. I mean, people, the best marketers, the people that have the offers that like really do the best, they're just constantly testing, split testing, like optimizing their offer by testing literally every aspect of the funnel.
That's great. And is there any sort of thing that you guys have seen in terms of split testing that has been seemingly so random but has made a huge difference for your affiliates?
Let's think of a good example.
I mean, really, even down to like the color of a button on a page, right? Like doing a yellow button versus like red, like split testing, that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it can really make a huge difference. But Alex probably has a few more examples
Yeah. So one thing that I think doesn't get tested enough is when you map out a funnel flow, it's your baby, right? And your baby's beautiful and it's perfect and nothing could be wrong with it. And it goes back to you just wanting to be like egocentric and I'm the smart person that knows what I'm doing. One of the biggest things that I saw recently with an offer was they switched up upsell 1 and upsell 2, right? Because they thought when they mapped it out and they said, okay, well, this is what's going to happen, upsell 1 and then upsell 2, and there's a flow to this. There's a reason and a rationale. And what they noticed was like, they had a really great uptick into the upsell 2 comparatively. And so even though it was a small sample size because it was the second upsell, it was still a really good percent. And they just said, hey, let's swap this, right? Let's see if upsell 2 is better. And it actually turned out that upsell 2 should have been upsell 1 because it got a way better take rate than that. I think that's a really big one. I think also is just testing common knowledge and logic. So I think with like the rise of Instagram, if you watch Instagram, right, Reels, it's all regurgitated information. It's sort of the chat GPT model, right? They just scrub the internet and then they give the results. So everybody says like the bundle should be 136 because that's what everybody does. And everybody puts it 163 or everybody puts it like whatever the order is. And so they just say, hey, this is best practices. But you want to be on the front end of the wave of change, right? You don't want to be doing what everybody else is doing because odds are you're the back end of the wave, which means it's actually declining. And so you need to test everything that seems like this is absolutely common and switch it, see what happens. I think that order, the strategic, like, is it a 1, 3, or 6? I think that is a huge thing where everybody tries to funnel it into like, here, choose my 3. Because that's in the middle, because I'm scared to really focus you on the 6 and 1's not enough, when maybe it's way better if you actually track 1 and try to get everybody to buy a 1 on the front end and have a little bit of money left over for your upsell and you get a better overall AOV. Like there's just little things like that.
Yeah, that's super interesting you mentioned that. I actually attended an event a couple months ago and it was a media buying event and they were discussing like different strategies for their ads and on TikTok, and essentially they found that like doing things with either changing the voice of the person or changing the the style or speeding it up. There's so many different things you can do that make a difference, and so it's always great to go out there and try and test things.
No, absolutely. I think another relationship, like I think I'm trying to sound like I'm a relationship guru. Mind you,
I like it.
Mind you, 37 until I got married, like not very successful with dating, but it's sort of like, and maybe this is the reason I was bad at it, is sometimes you never know if that goodnight kiss is going to work or not, right? Is like, I got a pretty good feeling. I think I'm going to have to try and just see what happens. And when you're testing stuff, if it were me, I would just constantly say we have at least one small percentage of a test, just always going no matter what. And we don't care. Like we're just going to cycle through different things. And then if we see a little bit of a spike, then we'll turn it into a full-fledged split test. But just always be willing to like risk it, throw it out, not be scared that if you test, you're going to lose money. As long term, right? You may lose money once on that test, but long term, you'll make the right choice and win big.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I think that at 37 is not too late to get married. I think I was, almost 40. So okay. It's been a bit. So all good. And in terms of we discussed testing and trying new things to get the kind of dating portion of it and grow this relationship with affiliates on your new offer. Lenee, can you talk about the importance in that area of maybe doing outreach to more affiliates?
Yeah, for sure. So once you've got some initial test data, and I like to, people are always wondering like, oh, what does it mean? What does it mean to be tested? Like what, like, is it a certain amount of clicks? Is it a certain amount of this? Like, I think that there's first of all, a few different things to consider, like to know that your offer is like appropriately tested. Like I've had people like affiliate come to me and they're like, oh yeah, my offer is this, it's converting at this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, like, how many affiliates have run it? They're like, one. I'm like, oh, okay. So that was one affiliate doing one type of promotion. The idea is that you want to get a few different affiliates and different verticals, like testing out that offer and sending traffic to it, because, and this leads into the point about like doing outreach to more affiliates. I think sometimes it's people are like, okay, I have like this health offer, and say it's like a weight loss offer, and I'm only going to reach out to like this certain type of affiliates. And like really you should be reaching out to different affiliates of a few different kinds, getting the test data, getting how it performs back, and then at that point it's considered like tested. I would say you want a couple thousand clicks like minimum to even say that this offer is tested. And once you feel like it is, you want to get really dialed in about what the numbers say. Like I see so many people that don't even know the numbers like for their offers. It's like, what is it converting at? What is the EPC? Getting these things down. Then you're ready. If it's performing at industry standard metrics, right? Then you're ready to go scale with more affiliates. And that's the point where you should actually start reaching out. I see so many people that like jump right to this like way too quickly. So I wanted to clarify there. But with regards to outreaching to more affiliates, that's when you're like, okay, I have this data. I'm going to go. Like there's so many ways to find new affiliates. Obviously, like Digistore 24, we have thousands of affiliates, right? So some people come and work with a company like ours, or some people run it on their own. They go to events, they find different affiliates there. They're searching online. I also like to encourage people to look across different advertising channels. So if you have an offer that like say people have only been running on Facebook, or they've only been running email traffic, like start to explore, like go onto YouTube, go to get a TikTok, throw some search terms in, find affiliates that are like promoting this type of stuff and test it with them, right? You don't want to just like limit yourself to like, oh, this offer is only, we're only doing email traffic, or we're only doing cold traffic here. I think that that's a huge mistake. I think that the name of the game is to literally like continue to find as many different types of affiliates and direct them towards your offer now that you actually have some data for it, so that you can say like, hey, this is what this is like what the EPC is, right? So they have an idea about how much money that they're actually going to earn by promoting it, but don't just stick within, what you're used to. Like Alex was mentioning earlier, it's like sometimes you have to go out of your comfort zone and really get creative about finding different types of affiliates. And sometimes you discover like a honey hole, like throw an offer on YouTube. All of a sudden you've never had affiliate traffic from YouTube and it just starts like crushing. Then if you never would have reached out or tried to work with YouTube affiliates, you wouldn't know that. So there's a lot of opportunity and money left on the table. But again, circling back to it, the most important part, make sure the offer, you've tested it with a few different types of affiliates, not just one affiliate. Or, I've heard some ridiculous things where people think that their offer is like tested, but it's not. It's not ready for the go steady part.
Yeah, that's it's very interesting. You mentioned kind of trying to work with affiliates that maybe you would think wouldn't necessarily work with your offer, but give them a test anyway. And I think that it sort of reminds me of, if we go back to the dating thing, like where you see the rom-coms where there's always like the person that goes back and goes to their exes and be like, hey, can you tell me what went wrong in our relationship, or why did we break up, or was I a good partner, or whatever you want to say. And so like I think it comes down to basically the more you can work with these different types of affiliates, the more you can learn collectively about your offer.
For sure.
Yep. That's fantastic. And is there any other kind of optimization kind of strategies that you guys would recommend when beyond what you mentioned here, that once people are rolling with your offer and you want them to do more, anything else you guys could recommend?
Yeah. So I don't want to shamelessly plug Digistore 24, but I think that's okay. I will mention something that we do at Digistore 24. Like usually you have a team that's built around the ideas like, let me optimize my copy, right? Let me optimize the design of my funnel. Not near enough people spend the time to like optimize their order form. And so they don't realize like conversion rates on your order form, a 10% bump on your conversion rate on order form, like they land, do they actually purchase, right? 10, 15, 20, 30% could be the difference between successfully being able to scale online and not being able to scale online. And so I think you put so much work, you do your checklist of things that we have to do, and you put so much work on making that VSL, right? You just like killed it, and you put so much work, and then you say, okay, offers live, and then you take this deep breath, and the momentum sort of fades. And I would say you have to optimize the order format. And that's one of the aspects that Digistore 24 really spends a lot of time doing is you don't have an order form optimization team, right? Like most people don't do that. You don't have a payment processor, like a mids optimization team. You don't have that, right? Well, let us be that. That's one of the things that we do is you don't have enough eyes for everything. And so we pick up little details that can make huge bumps. I'm talking, we had one vendor that was just phoning it in on another platform. They were also on us at the same time. And then we said, here, let's try this with the order form. And they got a 60% bump. So that went from being not scalable on any platform, right, to all of a sudden being scalable on YouTube. Now they're running, making money, and just growing because of just like small little tweaks on parts of the page that you never look at.
Yeah, that's an awesome point. And we see that a lot at Everflow because we have a ton of clients who in a bunch of different verticals and industries, and working with the representative from your platform or working with your platform tech is a great way to take advantage of the knowledge that the company is offering and the technology has. We see that a lot where we can recommend somebody make this change or work with this partner, and then they'll see a huge bump there as well. So that's definitely great advice in terms of always making sure to keep an open line of communication with either Digistore or whoever you're working with, and making sure that you take advantage of the knowledge and the experience that team has in working with a bunch of different types of advertisers.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. And then in terms of, we've covered a lot of the, the positives and how to get more, attention for your offer and how to grow an offer. But coming to the negative sort of section of it. So when you have a new offer and things are going well, but then you might have, whether that's fraud or you might have an affiliate who stops promoting or maybe fraud, whatever negative stuff that can go down. When should, and I guess I can go back to Alex on this, when do you think you should quote unquote break up with an affiliate or block an affiliate from your offer?
I think it depends on your previous relationship with that affiliate. So I think this all goes back to, do you know your affiliates from the get-go, right? If you don't know that affiliate at all, you haven't been paying attention to numbers, you haven't seen their ID before, and all of a sudden you start seeing bad signs, you're going to be scared, right? You're going to react. And so you're just going to instantly say, hey, let's shut this off because it could get worse, right? There's never the feeling of like, well, maybe if I wait, it's going to improve, right? It's going to get worse. But if you've taken the time beforehand to actually get to know the affiliates, there's that sense of like, hey, there was a better time. Something happened. Let me talk to them. It could improve again. And so I would say, and I think it's smart, is that if you don't know the affiliate, be quick with it, right? Pause them, reach out maybe, and move on. We do have a lot of young new affiliates that are learning, and maybe they do something that they shouldn't have done, so it sent you some bad traffic, it sent you something you don't like, and so you instantly react and say, hey, don't. If you have the team for it, right, if you have the manpower to support it, sometimes educating an affiliate a little bit can really endear them to you, because now there's nobody ever speaks to me, I just try to run these offers, and now since somebody reached out and said, hey, let me give you a little bit of coaching, then they're going to be super endeared. Then they're going to stick with you for like a long, long time and do a lot to help you. That, of course, is if you have the manpower. And I would always say, if you have a previous relationship, don't overreact. There's usually an explanation. Reach out. If you do overreact, sometimes words can't always be taken back. And so they'll be pissed and they might just walk, and you've ruined a long-term relationship.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Lenee.
No, I was just going to add on to that, with the relationship portion. And if it's affiliates, or an affiliate you don't know, and you see something like, I was going to get to, I guess, the more technical parts of it, like looking at things like, your refunds and your chargebacks. If you're all of a sudden noticing that like an affiliate essentially is having a lot of, things that are coming back, okay, well, this is like probably not good traffic. Something's off. Like following your instinct is a big one there. But any sign of like really a fraudulent activity that you're aware of, like, I think that's something like that from the affiliate side, like, it burns relationships. And to Alex's point, if it's someone you already have a relationship with, or maybe it's someone like that's newer, there are reasons that something could appear fraudulent. But the best course of action is obviously to like act really quickly on it. But, of course, if you see something that you consider like fraudulent, like definitely, don't just ignore it, because you could end up really getting yourself in a pickle with domains and like getting shut down and all the things.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. And I think it kind of comes down to definitely what you guys are saying with knowing your affiliates, because it's almost like if somebody sends you a text message and you see the words on there, but you could take it a bunch of different ways. But if you know the person, you know exactly kind of what their intent was, and kind of, if they're joking or what they may be, what they're trying to say. And so, yeah, I think it knowing the affiliates is huge, because basically it allows you to know what they're maybe thinking, what their strategies may be, and also to be able to communicate with them. And I think that is that's such a huge part of affiliate marketing as a whole. And yeah, so in terms of after the negative side of things, so are there any, in terms of getting back out there, like in terms of looking at, new types of affiliate promotion, is there anything that you guys are seeing that you're seeing affiliates have success with, something that maybe people might not know or might not be working with right now?
You mean in like actual types of offers that people are running now that in the past they weren't working? Or are you referring more?
Oh yeah, no, I meant like in like promotional styles. Like I know you mentioned earlier, like YouTube, TikTok, anything that you guys are seeing that affiliates are having success that maybe somebody with a new offer might want to consider looking more into.
Telegram. I think that you want to go where there's a lot of eyeballs and they're cheap. And right now, a lot of Telegram chat owners, I think is that what they call it, a chat thread. So a Telegram group, the owners of them a lot of times don't know the worth of the eyeballs. And so you can go talk to somebody who's got a big group and say, hey man, I'll throw you 500 bones if you let me let me throw out this offer in your group. And they're like thrilled with $500, not realizing that for the number of eyeballs they have, the ROI is huge. And so we've seen guys make thousands and thousands of dollars having just given a little bit of money to a Telegram owner. I think you can do that a lot of times with Instagram. We tend to look for like influencers. And I think this would be the same for TikTok, but you're looking for influencers that have like these big followings, and that's where everybody wants to go. But a lot of times it's that person that has a relatively small audience of 2,000 people, but a lot of those people are people that actually know them, and they don't even need money. They're like super thrilled to get like a bottle of pills. They're thrilled about that. You're out a couple bucks, and then these people will pitch it to their aunt and their grandma and their sister. And it's so easy to reach out to these Instagram guys. You can hire a 13-year-old girl who knows how to run Instagram, and she can just send message after message to these small mini influencers and just say, hey, we'd love to send you a bottle. Like, we love what you're doing. Let me send you a bottle and promote it to my audience. And I think there's huge opportunity that a small select group of affiliates right now are cashing in on.
Yeah, that's incredible. I think that I've seen those groups for many years, and I'm seeing more on Telegram right now, and I'm in a few in the affiliate industry. But to go that route is a very unique way to get your offer out there. It's a very cool piece of knowledge you just dropped there.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Awesome. And then in terms of Digistore 24 and kind of wrapping up, is there anything new that you guys have that's coming out that you'd like to discuss, or anything you'd like to plug?
New things at Digistore 24. I think that the new things, the things that people need to know, we always want to plug is anytime you're at an event, right? Anytime you're at any big affiliate event, right? You got to come find us. The Digistore 24 throws the best parties. All right. The best parties are, little known fact, we actually own a music festival, Beat Patrol. It's an EDM festival in Europe, right? They do 2 events a year. We actually own them. So as you can assume, right, we spare no expense to get like the best DJs and the best party stuff. I think that we throw like some great suite events. And so it's actually really easy to get the hookup and find your way into one of these, right? You just got to message us. I know we have a YouTube channel where I do a weekly YouTube show. You can jump on there and just put a message like, hey, where's the next event? Like, what are you guys doing? And my team's like super cool. We roll with A-listers, and we roll with real humble people too. And so anybody can come in and get in. Really big things that are happening, I think, in the Latin American space. So Spanish speaking and Portuguese speaking. It is popping off right now, and we're doing a lot of things to make sure that it's viable. One of the biggest issues when you're trying to promote over there is just the actual rejection rate of like credit cards and things. So we're doing some stuff right now to mitigate that, to make it actually viable to scale. And there's just like huge opportunity. And you can reach out to us about that, whether you're more on the offer owner side or the affiliate side. That's a big one. And then really, really soon, Digistore Ireland is about to drop in. What that means now is localized processing throughout all of the EU. And so when you are running an offer in the EU with a lot of platforms, right, that the payment's actually being processed in like the US or something like that. And so there's just a % that'll be rejected. But as we drop, and I think we're hoping to drop this Q1, should be there, everything finalized, you'll be able to start running offers in places like France or Spain, and the processing will actually say, oh, this is coming from a bank within the EU. And that small conversion bump, right, that wasn't optimized before, you optimize it, now make something scalable.
And
yeah, go ahead. That's fantastic.
I was just going to add to that I think one of the biggest benefits of working with Digistore 24 is that we're constantly evolving. Like the reason I was even impressed by this company when it came onto the horizon in this industry is like the willingness to like continually create features and things that really do benefit our clients. And in a big way, we talk a lot about our conversion rates over at Digistore being some of the best in the industry. And it's because of our focus to detail on like these new features and things that we're constantly coming out with. So I think it's just always, exciting to be at the forefront of what's going on, and especially as it relates to getting more conversions. It's like that's what everyone wants, right? Everyone wants to make more money. That's why our tagline is more sales with less work, because Digistore, we're the ones like doing the work. We have a huge team. We have a team over in Europe, that's like just phenomenal and coming out with new features that are actually helping people make more money with less work. So it's kind of a revolving door of things that we're constantly updating, coming out with, and we try to keep everyone in the loop as those things come out. But Alex mentioned earlier the like customizable order forms where people can do that. Then on other platforms, that might not be an option. We just have, it's always something, right? It's always something that is coming out that is really for the benefit of our clients. So it's exciting for us to be able to share that. And it's exciting, as a client of ours to like really see that is what makes the difference. Constantly having a team that's like at the forefront of doing things to improve your experience.
That's fantastic. And in terms of getting a hold of you guys, it's best to just use the Digistore site, digistore24.com, and reach out that way. Or would you like our audience to maybe hit you guys up on LinkedIn or send you an email?
Yeah, man, for sure. So if you message me on LinkedIn, I will never, ever answer it, except for that one time when all of a sudden I like randomly check it and it pops up, boom. And I'm surprised by 10 messages. If you email me, totally cool with it, right? alex.gunoe, Gunoe, at digistore24.com. We also have an email, affiliates@digistore24.com. If you're somebody who like doesn't have an account manager, but you think you deserve an account manager, you can reach out that way.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for your time today. And we really appreciate it. And we hope, audience, that we've given you guys some good tips and didn't overuse the dating puns and relationship puns, but we gave it a shot. And thank you guys so much, and have an awesome day, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks. You too, Tony.